what's up? This is Gary.
And Nate.
And this is the Gary
And Nate
podcast. Boom.
Thought we were going to be rusty.
Bang.
On your ass.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. I got robbed.
He got robbed, and we don't know who did it. And so we're trying to figure it out. Right now, we got either really, really suntan white people.
They definitely wasn't white.
Some Mexicans that was in the sun too long. Not as long as it would take for the white people to be the same color. Or some light-skinned African Americans. Or Cambodians. That's the right color.
All right. I see what you're doing here.
I'm just trying to make it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's not what I heard.
It's the amount of pokes.
It's not, yeah. We got
a brother would have gave up. Like, man,
Yeah, we posted it on my on my social media, but we posted it on my podcast, Get Some. But God, what a feeling of violation and
oh yeah.
And it was a little scary because I don't bank a Bank of America. And I really think they're one of the worst banks on the planet, the way they do business.
I don't mind them. I actually would like them to sponsor something.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want them. So they can be on opinionated all day, but they're probably not going to be the Gary and Nate.
Really?
But I'm telling you, a Fifth Third Bank or Chase, they could be on here.
I bank at Chase. I had Bank of America in college, and I left because they would hit me with so many fees that it was like, I'm losing money having an account. I'd rather have a shoebox.
Let's just be honest. We don't want them.
Right.
I've had a Bank of America account for about 2.5 years, 3 years, right? I just stopped using it because it was too much of a hassle. You know, in our business, we got to send wires out a lot. Mm-hmm. It was, me to say, hey, can you send this wire? They're like, no, we can't. You got to do that. I'm like, I don't have time to do that. I'm getting on a plane. I'm calling you with the routing, the accounting. Please do it.
Yeah, knock it out.
It's not what was happening. So anyways, I've had just some money sitting in there for a couple of years. I don't have the app anymore. I don't really engage on Bank of America at all.
Okay.
Drove by, headed to the gym.
So let me just stop by right quick
Saw
to see
B of
what
A.
money I left in there.
Literally, I walked in like this. I'm going to close the account. Let me just close it.
Right.
Had a couple hours free. Walk in. They had me hostage for like an hour.
Oh,
I was like, dude, just close the account. And you know how you get frustrated. You're like, I just want to get out of here.
Let me go.
So the lady I said, hey, after the account is closed, she goes, how do you want your money? I said, can you wire it into my other bank? She goes, no, you just close your account. There's no wire to send it from. I said, oh, yeah. What's that reason? She goes, want a cashier's check or cash? Looking back, should have said cashier's check. I said, what's ever easiest? She said, well, we have the cash. We can give you cash. All right. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I get the cash. I'm not going to tell you how much. Over 1,000, under 100,000. You figure it out, right? Okay. Enough to fit in my pocket in an envelope. So they put it in an envelope, got it in my pocket. I'm not out there counting it.
Right.
Get in my car. My bank receipt said May 21st, 1:35 p.m. That's when I left the bank. I swiped my gym card at 1:59 p.m. The gym is 3.1 miles from the bank
to the gym.
Sat in my car for like 10 minutes talking to somebody. I'm paying no attention. There had been people that have broken into the lockers at the gym. So I said, I don't want to take the money to the gym. I feel like my car is a tank. That's probably better. I'll just leave it here. That's the thing. I don't want, literally, I was going in there to sit in the sauna. That's what made it bad. Okay. It wasn't like a big workout. I'm in the gym 45 minutes tops. I come out.
You were in the sauna for 45 minutes?
No, the gym itself. I got a smoothie. I did what dads do. How's it going, Gary? How do you think the Bengals going to do? Pretty good, man.
You hung out.
Yeah. I wasn't in there working out.
Well, somebody knows you left the bank, you got a bag, they followed you to like, let's just see where this car goes right quick.
Right. I come out. Not only did I park directly in front of a camera, which is in my favor.
Right.
There's a security guard that drives around a golf cart in the parking lot.
And he didn't see shit? Okay.
This made it. I think that bothered me almost as much as the break-in.
Right.
Because now he's just sitting there, and I was like, why is that dude sitting by? And me being the vain person, it's a black security guard. I thought he recognized me. I'm thinking, oh, Gary, you work out here or something, right? So I'm walking up, getting prepared for the selfie.
Right.
So I'm going, all right, I don't look my best.
Let's make it
got
quick.
The sauna. I'm sweating, got the smoothie. I just want to get home. He literally said, I'm walking, he goes, yeah, they got you. I was like, what? I said, no, the way this is happening. I see the little marks on the driver's side. They didn't get to it. That rear passenger window, they got through. This was not a quick job, by the way.
No.
Audi S8s are tanks. They got double-sided windows. I had tint, so they're trying to break through 3 layers.
And then the peel back that I saw in that picture.
That was not one person.
So they got the money.
They got the cash. I am insured, though.
Yeah, everyone is FDIC.
So
but are you insured at a bank that you don't have an account at?
No, I'm insured through State Farm. I'm not. Here's silver lining in everything. Not gonna. My insurance policy said I can't retrieve all the money. Right.
Okay.
I get with my policy. I get some of it back.
Mm-hmm.
Silver lining though. My insurance company goes back and looks at my policy, and they're like, if you combine like the auto with the homeowners and all this stuff, they start talking. They go, you can have the same coverage, and you literally will save $240 a month. So I was like, oh, like 2-3 years, Gary's winning. I made money off this robbery.
Bumble my shit.
Look, I'm like this. What's that? $3,000 a year?
Yeah.
2027. Get ready.
Yeah.
I'm winning.
But
so
you could have kept your money and bundled.
That's true. So, anyways, could you just let me?
I'm sorry.
Can you let me think I'm winning here?
So when you have silver lining, just let it
Damn,
shimmer.
Nate.
My bad.
Oh my God!
When you
me right here.
When you win, I want it to be a real win.
Technically, it's life giving you checks and balances.
Okay.
And this was definitely a check because I was like, oh, here's what I thought. I could have went home. They were following me.
Yeah, you could have got kicked though.
So I'm glad I went to the gym.
Yeah.
Not glad I got robbed. Glad I went to the gym. Didn't go home. I'm still a little salty with it. Okay, here's what really got on my case.
Also, real quick before that, here's the true silver lining, right? Like, yes, you didn't go home because that's where the loved ones are, but like, it gives you, now your spider sense has got to be, you were lacking situational awareness.
Completely.
Because you got what is considered a bag to someone else, what someone is willing to go a long way for, and you're nonchalantly skipping into a sauna, drinking a smoothie with it.
Yeah. And, because
But I'm saying, your own personal safety, like, be aware, Gary.
Yeah. It's so easy to say after the fact because we all go through those times like, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, hold on. I'm sure young Dolph thought he was fine getting them cookies that day in Memphis. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing nothing wrong. Middle of the day, he's going to get cookies.
Yeah.
I'm like this. So.
And people are like, she took too long to bring him his food. That's why. I got it.
So my thing with everything.
Rest in peace, young Dolph.
Right. I'm just saying.
No, it's valid.
There's things like I'm really glad I didn't go home. And I more am like, the security guard, where the fuck were you?
On the
You
clock.
saw the video.
Mm-hmm.
This was not a quick bang and grab them.
Did the golf cart go by in the back of the video?
I can't wait. I haven't seen they got it. The police have it from the gym. They sent it to them. And obviously they're going to have cameras at B of A. And they're going to have cameras on the highway.
Yeah.
Because there's no turns. You pull out B of A, you make a right, 3.1 miles is the gym.
The tolls and all that got cameras. License plates all the way down the highway.
But here's what the detective told me. He said, a couple things in your favor. One, B of A and the gym, they don't want people to think people are getting robbed at our places of business. It's you. And they said, there's cameras everywhere. There's cameras at B of A. There's cameras at the gym.
It's high profile, right? Like, it's one thing to be like, yo, they break in cars here. It's another thing to be like, they broke in Gary Owen's car here. Like, it adds a layer of like, it's for real.
What makes it not hurt as bad though is I haven't used that account in so long. So if let's say, and I'm making up a number, let's say they take $40,000. I'm going big here. That's not how much they got, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But if it would have been the account that I bank in, I could have $2 million in that account, and I'd be like, I should have $2,040,000.
Right.
I wasn't even thinking of that
operating account.
Yeah, I don't even think of B of A. So to me, I'm not missing it as much.
There's your silver lining.
Yeah.
Didn't go home. and this was an account that was it wasn't as an active thing.
Yeah. When I say haven't even thought about it,
Right.
I just drove by B of A and went, I got money in there. I'm gonna go close the account.
I'd like to see, like, is there some sort of heavenly production room that is like, give Gary the thought. Let's follow Gary in. Give the Mexicans the thought.
They weren't Mexican. They were Mexican.
Okay.
That's been confirmed.
Okay. All right. Give Jalil the idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that string together? Because if you aren't like, I got a couple minutes to go into Bank of America, there's nothing, none of this happens.
You talk about lack of awareness.
Yeah.
I'm driving. I'm definitely not in the hood, but I'm also not in Beverly Hills, so to speak,
Okay.
right? I don't even notice there's a Walmart behind it because the B of A sits right off the road.
Right.
I pulled in straight to B of A and parked directly in front of it, so my car's facing the highway. Once I went back, because next day I went back, retraced everything, took pictures and videos. I was my own detective. I was like, "There's a Walmart behind here." Would have never stopped if I would have saw the Walmart.
Maybe a Target.
Yeah. What the cop told me was 2 things happened.
What?
Here's this isn't uncommon. Either someone's in the bank and it's an inside job, or someone is they said the Walmart parking lot, there's a gas station here. They're not going to park in the B of A parking lot. There's someone sitting there and they get on the phone and somebody is pulling out from like a McDonald's across the street. They said, we almost guarantee whenever we find out who was following you, it wasn't somebody that pulled out of the Bank of America parking lot.
Right.
They pulled out of another parking lot. He goes, but good thing is we'll see.
Yeah.
They said the highway's got the cameras all the way down and everything else. So we'll see what happens. It is in Houston. I might need some Jay Prince action on this. I'm glad I'm good with his family.
It depends on the number. You won't say the number.
Oh, I'm definitely not saying the number.
Once you tell Jay Prince the number, then you can have that conversation.
Yeah,
but you don't activate him for $2,000. That's for sure.
It's more than 2. It's more than 2, but it's less than 40.
Okay, got it. So
I'll tell you off air because the problem is I don't want to say on air because then people are like, you're a dumbass, But you couldn't have bought your car for it.
Which car?
Any of your cars.
Yeah, I got a shitter out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much does that go for?
The Nate Mobile has no value other than the fact that it's wrapped with my face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So 08 Chevy Malibu with 353 million miles on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so it was an interesting week, to say the least. Here's what made it worse. The security guard never saw him, didn't see the car pull out. The people playing pickleball saw it.
Oh.
They gave the description to the police. And my thing was the guy, here's what I've learned through this. And I talked about it on my podcast. I called like 3 people because I had to sit and wait for the tow truck, right? And when somebody's actively going through something, like somebody actively got robbed, please don't tell us a robbery story about you.
What?
We don't care. Or another, when somebody goes, well, my friend got robbed, and my friend got robbed in Milwaukee. I'm like this. I don't give a fuck about your friend. Let's focus on me right now. My manager did that, and a couple days I called her and I said, Lisa, that just hit me wrong a little bit. You were one of the people I called to like give me a little support.
In crisis.
Talk, yeah. And you told me about somebody that got robbed in Carmel, California that I don't know. In Carmel.
It's supposed to make you feel better.
It didn't.
That's the concept is like, man, this happens to people.
Yeah, it didn't. Not in the moment.
They didn't single you out.
Not in the moment.
We'll get him, Gary.
No. Do you know my one opener T-Robe from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he stayed on the phone, just BSing. Now I'm cutting jokes about it.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, dude, why are you like this? He goes, I'd be freaking out right now. He goes, you up here cutting jokes. I go, it's my defense mechanism, bro. I do that when people die, everything else. So he was like, dude, I'd be freaking out. But then he called back, texted, just checking up, everything else. And Lisa's great. Once I told her, hey, she's like, oh, yeah, I get it. But because, you got to get a little time.
Yeah.
Because once I told Andre Johnson for the Texans.
Okay.
I saw him at the gym, a different gym. Mm-hmm. I went to this gym to go sit in the sauna. I go to another
Andre
gym.
Goes to a gym where they don't steal out of the parking lot.
Facts. Yeah.
It's my hunch.
Maybe.
Okay.
So I see him. I go, Dre, you hear what happened? He goes, nah. Because we got a couple mutual friends I told. I showed him the video. He tells me a story. He goes, yeah, they got me one time. He was like, I was leaving the gym, went and stopped and got something to eat afterwards. And he said they got the video. When he saw the video, it was like two guys going in cars doing this. He goes, and they saw he's got a nice car. They saw the gym bag on the passenger floor.
And that's what they wanted.
He said they got nothing but dirty socks, dirty shorts, and dirty shirts.
I would like to tell you what happened when my car got broken into, but I don't want you to feel like...
No, I'm past it. This was a week and a half ago. We're good. I
had just gotten the Telluride, and we went... The first weekend, we go out to the Super Funny Comedy Club, my club here in Tacoma, and so the Kia Telluride was like... it was on a stop build, so you couldn't get these anywhere. And so... I got it because I was going from my parents' house to the Capitol Mall in Olympia, Washington, and there's a way where you can take the exit for Capitol Mall, or you can take the exit before and cut through the Capitol Auto Mall and save a couple minutes. So I took that cut or whatever, and I went through, and I'd already been looking at them online, and there was one up on a ramp. I'm like, I pulled around. I said, how do you guys have a Telluride? Like, no one can get him. They're like, this one was like on order, brought here, this couple bailed on getting it during paperwork. I'm like, when? They're like, 20 minutes ago. I was like, come on, let's do it. Bought it on the spot.
How long ago was this?
This was 2019, and it was the 2020 Telluride.
Right before COVID.
Yeah. Yep. So I had the car for, I'd say, a year and because COVID it hit in 2020, but it didn't really like hit us until March. So I had it for a full 15, 16 months before COVID hit. Anyway, so a brand new car, I get it, come home, they follow me in the car, switch cars, drive up to the show. After the show, my cousin's like, yo, let's all go get pho. So we go from the club to the pho restaurant. We are there for 4 minutes. I hear an alarm outside going off. I don't know the Telluride's alarm sound, though. I hadn't heard it. It's a brand new car.
Yeah.
But I hear it. And I remember, I was like, damn, somebody got that shit cracked outside. Said that out loud. Stood up, walked towards the door, and when I was like 2 steps from grabbing the handle to go outside, the alarm went off on its own, for however long it's supposed to go. And I was like, whatever. Came back inside. We sat there for a minute, ate, drank, went outside. Back left window, whole side, fine. Front window, fine. Driver's side, everything fine. All the way to that back little slice window. Mm-hmm. That's what they cracked. And what they stole was this. I had this Louis Vuitton backpack that would not normally have been there, but I had just switched the cars. So I took that out of my trunk and threw that in the back of the Telluride. Hadn't had my windows tinted yet. Kind of tried to cover it with something, but you could see the top flap of a black on black embossed Louis bag over the shoulder. If it was real, this bag would have been a $32,000 bag.
Dang, but it wasn't real?
No. I had a Chinese plug, and so I got that bag was, I think, cost me $400 or something, but it looked like the real one. Yeah. So whoever was looking, if I didn't hear the alarm, had I been listening, I would have heard them go, "Ooh, shit, he got a bag." You know what I'm saying?
You probably never left a backpack in your car since then.
No, ain't no way.
See, I
never
learned.
Exposed.
I checks and balances.
But what is that? That looks like a regular bag.
I don't go anywhere anymore. Look, I hold on to everything.
He's a kangaroo now.
Look, I hold on to everything.
I ain't putting shit down.
Look, I got chapstick,
you learned your lesson?
Earbuds in this bitch.
I got everything. Yeah, but it makes you for sure cognizant, man, let's make sure nothing is visible. But what's a trip is what you're hiding or putting in your trunk or moving out of view. You're like, who the fuck would break in a whole car for this? And there is somebody.
But you got to realize you don't realize how desperate people are. You're like, dang, you're going to risk your freedom for this?
That. But this is going to sound crazy. In the defense of the people that cracked your shit, they knew it was in there.
That's the thing. They didn't know how much.
But they knew.
They knew there was. But that's the thing, too.
You came out. Where was the envelope visible when you came out?
No, it was in my pocket. It wasn't this. It was this.
So it just slid in my pocket.
No,
you could have made a deposit. Why would they know it was cash?
I don't know.
Somebody at the bank let them know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what the detective said. He goes, dude, two things going on. Inside job, because now you're replaying everything in your brain.
Yeah.
There was a guy at the ATM in there for a little while, but he was in a suit, a brother.
So?
There's two people behind me in line.
Suits are $100.
Yeah. There was one teller lady, one lady in the office when I closed my account.
Yeah.
And both of them, like, English was their second language and Spanish wasn't their first. They was like from Taken, whatever that is. What language was that?
I don't know, Ukrainian or something.
Yeah, something like that. That's the language they were speaking. And then, but there was a young guy and then another brother in there. There was a young Latino guy and a brother in there.
So everybody in there was black except for the two tellers? Or
Well, there's only 4 people in there. There's only one black person.
Okay.
But there was a Latino kid.
The young guy was what?
Latino.
Okay.
And then there was a black dude in there.
Yeah.
And then there was the two
suit.
tellers. I'm talking about the people who worked there.
Okay.
And then why I was in there, what I saw, because when I was closing my account, my back's to people, but there wasn't a lot of people coming in and out.
Right.
But I was just like, who was in earshot? And if I was going to guess, it would be the two people. But I don't want to put blame on the two people that worked there if they didn't do it.
But you don't have to be in earshot at a bank to see the different transaction. If you hand them something and then they give you a receipt, done. You hand them something and then you get back an envelope, boom. You stood at the window and troubleshooted whether you should get a cash check, money order, how to get it out.
No, I did that
You
in
said
the office.
they had you there for an hour.
To close my account. It took forever.
Yeah, but I know you walked out of the office like, Jesus Christ, how long does it take to close an account?
Yeah,
There's only fucking X amount of dollars in there. And
that
person was like, ooh.
Well, no, it took a while because I had a credit card that I hadn't used in over a year.
You want to close that too?
Oh, well, kind of how there was charges on it. I got screwed every which way.
Okay.
They took all the charges off. Thank you for that. The fraud charges. They go, yeah, you got Best Buy. I go, I haven't used it.
Right.
I haven't used it. I kept telling them, I have not used this card in 2025.
Yes.
And so they was like, they took it off. They took that off.
Yeah.
That's what was taking forever. They had to get somebody on the phone. It's like they was going over these charges. I go, I don't know what part of I have not used this card in 2025 you're not understanding. Because they go, well, what about this? I go, I have not used this card for nothing. So that's what took a while. Even the lady that I was closing the account was getting frustrated. She goes, just hang up. I'll take care of it.
Oh, you were on the fraud.
Yeah.
Okay.
She put me on the phone. It just, I'd still want to go back to this.
Who was the oldest person there?
The lady that I was dealing with.
Okay. Who was, okay. What was she?
Ukrainian or something like that?
Okay. And you're sure the people that did it were black on the video or whatever?
That's what I was told.
I don't know, man. I have a theory that it's like, there's always a connected grandma. Like she
could be boning her brother.
She knows. Yeah, that's true too.
She could be boning her brother, young dude.
And he didn't came in there just like, you know, somebody do the money thing. You know how we do it.
That's exactly the voice I thought he would have.
Come on, Chechny.
Hey, come on. Come on, girl. You know, I was rooting for Khabib in UFC.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
But this one got me. The security guy on the golf cart. I said, where were you? He was like, because this is what he said. He goes, dang, man. I take a lot of pride. Never had nothing happen on my watch. This was my watch. And then the guy at the gym, the security guard, they tell me, yeah, this happened to this guy, this happened to this guy. They tell me stories. Again, I don't care.
Right.
I'm in the mix. Can we focus on me?
You ain't watching. Everybody's got a story about.
That's all he kept saying. Hey, ain't nothing ever happened on my watch. I go, well, it has now.
Right.
And now the guy from the gym went back in. They said, you good? I said, yeah, because I want to talk to my people now, my friends, but I didn't want nobody in earshot.
Right.
So I'm sitting here like, he will not leave me. I go, oh, now you want to be around? So I said, hey, man, I just told him, I said, I'm good. I go, you can go patrol now.
Right.
And
somebody's probably getting broken into while you're over here fucking with me.
I said, I got to make some phone calls, man. But he was straight. Just now he thought we were friends, I think. I was like, bro, just leave me alone.
Right.
I don't want to talk to you.
No,
ever again.
The person who's on the clock to prevent what happened to you happening is not who we're about to be bonding with. Because if you were doing your job, my shit would still be here. All you got to do is drive by in the car and be like, I'm calling the cops. You don't even got to do shit.
As I said, even if you ain't got a gun, even if you were scared, I understand it. You didn't get a description? You weren't even around.
License plate, nothing.
You didn't hear ding, ding, ding. We got that shit. Nothing.
Right. We got that shit.
You know? I was like, oh my God. This was not, when the video comes, I guarantee this wasn't like a 2-minute job.
No, not
this
the way
took
that was
a
peeled
minute.
back. Because they did both sides. got a piece, peeled that all the way back, then pulled the door open.
Yep.
Yeah, no, they were there for, even if this is what they do all the time, that's at least 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's on some NASCAR pit stop. Let's get it. And then they got to look for it. Glove compartment, glove box, glove this, glove that.
They went right in the middle. They got it.
So
they probably lifted that
here's
middle
what I
part
would
up.
recommend you look into, because this is what I did after the Telluride got broke into, is I went and got a console safe. And so there's companies that make console safes. So when you open your consoles, the contents of your console, that can be hollowed out.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just pull all the trays and whatever. Well, this company, they make specific like safes that fit that.
Oh.
So when you open the console on mine, you see, the roller to try and get into the safe.
Dang, man, it got safe.
Yeah. So my car is a tank. But I don't even drive that one. Keela drives that one. So I keep nothing in the vet. I keep nothing in the I-7. But you crazy if you touch the I-7, because you're gonna be captured like a new Avenger. Like there's be so many camera angles on your ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I hate that happened to you. Glad you didn't go home. Glad now you're paying attention and stuff. We did Miami Improv, and did zero kicking it because I lived in Miami for 1.5 years, and I was like, I just seen too much. We're gonna keep all likelihood of anything bad or anything crazy happening real low.
What's the name of it? Because Dania Beach is Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah. So this was just the Miami Improv.
It's just Miami?
Miami Improv.
Okay.
But it was Dania. I don't know if Dania is Fort Lauderdale, is it?
I'm there this week, Dania.
But Dania is Fort Lauderdale?
I think so.
Okay.
I get them confused. You were on the second level? That's like you're on the
Yeah,
that's the Miami one.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Miami.
Dania is the first level.
Yeah. Dania is the one with that cool nightclub that's outside on their like patio. So while the show's going, it's cracking outside.
Yeah.
I haven't performed at that one, but when I did the Fort Lauderdale show, Dorfman came down because he is one of the owners of that club, and so he was just coming to do check on his stuff and talk to his business partner there. And so we went on that outside patio and ate like kings and queens and chopped it up. That was the one time I'd seen him since we'd signed the deal to go in the first place.
Oh, really?
It was a good time.
Yeah, it's hard to have a bad time in that place when you're not getting robbed.
It's hard to have a bad time when you're not getting robbed?
It's hard to have a bad time at Miami Improv as long as you're not getting robbed. Did you ever do the Coconut Grove one?
No.
Back in the day?
Well, the Miami Improv that was in Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
Like the shopping center kind of thing?
Yeah, it started on like the top floor, and then they moved it to like the middle floor.
Was it where you open the door to the green when you're on the stage?
Yeah, the screen door?
Yeah, so I did do that one. But I featured for Jay Phillips.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was actually, this was the only time I had fun in Miami after living there. Well, I've had fun in Miami, but this is the only time where like the fun didn't lead to some sort of tragedy. Okay, so yeah, I said it. So we get off stage, and they as soon as we get off stage, instead of going dark or anything like that, they play the end of the game.
Which game?
The game. Game ends. Heat win the NBA championship
Against the Spurs?
Whatever LeBron won with Dwayne Wade.
There was Oklahoma.
Chris
They won
Bosh.
2 with them. They beat Oklahoma City and they beat the Spurs.
I don't know which one it was. What I do know is I've never seen that many random motherfuckers running around in Coconut Grove at all in my life. I'm talking to all the shops were closed. You know how they put those like capes on the pagoda? All of that was it. But people were like, "Ma," just running by. LeBron. Like all these accents and shit. Just Cubans
Chris
like,
Bosh.
LeBron is the best. LeBron is the best in the world. He's the world in the world. He's the world. You know what I'm like, and just running. And it started to rain. And me and Jay were just trying to get out. And Jay knew somebody or knew LeBron or someone, but we went to live. And from me to you, it's how close we were to LeBron, Jamie Foxx, and everybody screaming and partying on stage.
Okay. I'm not going to story top you.
Do it. I don't have that many of these situations.
This is the tragic story of that night.
Yeah.
We were shooting Think Like a Man 2 in Vegas. Gab was married to Dwayne.
Yeah, Gab.
Well, she was engaged. The wedding was 2014. This was 2013.
Hey, Gab.
Yeah. This is when they beat the Spurs. And Gab's like, we switched the whole shooting schedule around, and they're like, Gab or Dwayne was gonna get his private to get down there. I had done Chris Bosch's birthday party every year, so I had ends with the Heat in the front office.
Yes.
Called the guy. I said, "Can I get one?"
Just one, please.
Got you. Woo. I'm flying in with Gab on a private. They shoot. So basically, we were gonna fly in.
So you told her like, "I got one."
She said I can get on the plane. I didn't even ask. She like, "Yo,
going,
you can hop on. We're going."
Yeah.
And she goes, "I can't get you in, but if they win, you're with us if you want to party." You know? I was like, "Cool," because Terrence went. Terrence J, his guy Fred. There was only like 5 people on this flight, right? So they had room.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got a ticket, I got a flight, and we were flying down the day of the game. They were going to party all night. Next morning, flying back to Vegas. So we got to be on set.
Yeah.
So it was a 24-hour trip. I called my ex. I go, "You're not going to believe this. I'm so pumped." I go, "I got a ticket to the game. Gab's going to be going to jet. We're going to game 7. Yeah. And she literally goes, "Your son has a game tomorrow." I went, "What?" She goes, "Your son has a game. How do you think he's going to feel if he watches that game on TV and his dad's at the game, then go to his?" I go, "You got to be kidding me right now." She gave me the guilt trip. It's like, you're lying, right? I was like, I can't make his game. I go, I can only make this game because we're flying private.
Jet going regardless.
I can't get on Delta. And the time jack, I wouldn't make it. So she goes, "I'm just saying, how do you think he's going to feel?" So I didn't go. And then we got divorced. Oh, if I could replay that day. I'd have been like, I asked my son as an adult now.
He was like,
he goes,
"What?"
He looked at me like this. "Oh my God, I could care less, Dad." I was like,
just fucking shotgun blast to the chest.
I'm all on social media and they're all at Live. Like something like this.
Up.
Oh my God, bringing out the bottles and partying like this. And that's funny. You were right there.
Oh, you would have been at that one.
I would have been at the party.
You'd have been right there.
Oh my God, they went from Live to the jet, flew back.
That's crazy. I didn't know all that, but I don't remember seeing Gabrielle, but I do remember seeing Terrence J. So yeah, same night you'd have been right, boom, 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 like that.
So pissed.
That's amazing.
I am. I'll never forget. I was like this.
God, why do women do that?
Well, here's the thing.
Like, weigh out the dopeness of the opportunity compared to
Game 7.
How big the letdown is. Game 7.
Not only Game 7.
Home game.
I knew the team.
Close out. Friends with the team. Free flight. Knowing you're about to kick it. The networking of, we did this 24-hour turnaround that we'll never forget again. Like, God.
Yeah, that one hurt. And then to find out my son didn't care. But then my son was like, "Thanks for not going, Dad. I would have crushed my childhood." Hold on. So he was like in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. This was like a high school championship.
Was he really good? Is your son really good at basketball?
He was all right. He was making teams.
But team leader, like.
Nah, he wasn't going pro or nothing.
Right.
So like this. Looking back on it, I often wonder if I had 2 tickets. And she could have gone. Wish she had said that. I think about that sometimes.
Oh, 100%.
She would have went.
You don't need to think about that anymore.
Yeah,
it was the amount of joy you were about to have without her while she had to go to that game as a parent and sacrifice as a parent. And then you were out here gallivanting around, living your fucking best life. And I got to go with orange slices to my son's game. And he's not playing till the 3rd quarter.
Your husband was in a huge movie that was a sequel.
Listen. We knew he was going to do movies. What we didn't know is about Game 7s in Miami and shit. So
you want to talk about the highest high?
That is so terrible.
I looking back, I shouldn't even called. I should go like, "Yeah, we got to see in the movie. We're flying down for Game 7, and they cut it out of the movie." I was like, because we shot most of that movie. I shouldn't have said shit because most of that movie we shot at night. We didn't have a lot of. Well, half the movie was during the day.
What difference does it make? Were you always FaceTiming your wife?
No, I'm just saying there were times where I was up all night.
Did you have a hunch she could do that?
No. I called with so much excitement, like, "You're not going to believe this shit." I got a ticket.
Right.
Gab's got a plane. We're going to fly down for the game, and we're flying right back the next morning afterwards. He goes, and I don't even know if it was the next morning looking back on it. It could have been like 4 a.m. It could have been party, get on the plane, and take off.
Right.
So there's not even time for me to do dirt, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If that's what you're worried about.
If that's your concern.
Yeah, if that's a concern.
Like, it could just generally be like, don't be out here living your best fucking life.
That shit hurt, bro.
Because you're doing a big movie. It's a sequel. But anybody who's like a friend and family, close person, lover, whatever of the actual actors, you know the other side of it. They're like, dude, I've been sitting here for 16 hours next to a rabbit hat, ready to say my line. Like, it's fun. I'm in my trailer. I'm chilling. You know, like I'm beat several levels on Candy Crush. We're all networking, all that. But it's not like you're on the set and all the actors are legit in the same area kicking it. Like, they're all in their own trailers. For lunch, maybe there's that link up. Mm-hmm. But after that, they're like, boom and boom and boom and boom. You guys are to the set now. And you're split up again. When you called and was like, uninterrupted fun.
Yeah.
Big fun. Like, national level, let's go kick it, big fun.
And it just, how it all came together. It was just like, hey, if it goes to game 7, they had to call Will Packer, Tim Story, like, we're going to shoot the shooting schedule. We got to switch a little bit. We'll move Gab to Monday night because the game was Sunday that they won.
Yeah.
So they was like, we're going to move Gab to Monday night. We got night shoots.
Because she can't miss her husband's closeout of the fucking NBA
Everybody knew that. You got to realize, when we were shooting that movie, Lala was with Carmelo.
Right.
Gab was with Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I don't want to put any business out there. There was another NBA guy hanging out. That was off limit. I almost fucked up.
All right, so
run the mill NBA. So you had like.
So we'll just go look at the cast and then guess.
We had like NBA guys like hanging out all the time on set. We were in
Mm-hmm.
Vegas. You know what I mean? So it wasn't nothing big, but the fact that, you know, it all Gab was like, oh, we're able to. Will was like, all right, Gab, we can switch it. Da-da-da-da-da. And then Terrence was like, oh shit. He goes, I might want to go down. Gab's like, look, we're getting the plane. Right. Whether you can get on it, you ain't gonna get on it.
It could just be me
this
flying,
is what time,
guys.
Yeah, this is what time we're leaving. If you want to get on it, get on it. And then I was like, I said, yo, I got a ticket.
She didn't make y'all split the charter on it or nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
He was like, I got a ticket. She goes, Gary, if you want to get on, come on.
Probably paid for by the Heat regardless.
I was like, man.
Because Dwayne Wade, franchise.
Running that.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh, my God. Boy, this is just a bad episode for me.
Why?
I got robbed. Couldn't go to the game.
You got robbed twice.
Yeah.
You got robbed of some money. You got robbed of some fun. But what's the trip really, though, is that you would have actually been like 4 feet from each other.
It would have been another time we'd be doing the podcast. You know, I saw you at Live. After the Heat won Game 7, I go, what? Jay Phillips?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny when you said Jay Phillips because I think first or second time I did the Miami Improv in Coconut Grove, Jay Phillips was featuring for me.
Yeah, Jay was locked in with them. Whoever was, like, Jay was locked, like, if you got a fallout, if you got whatever, like, hit me up. And so Jay would do lots of Miami. So it was a fill-in date for him. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I was just, you know, a hustler, and he was like, you fucking want to do Miami? I was like, yep. I'll go back.
Dang. Was you guys, you had a show that night? Of Game 7 on Sunday night, you had a show?
Yeah. We literally finished our night, walked out. Like,
was there people there?
In the club?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was plenty of people that were related to basketball fans, but not outside. As soon as we opened the door to the outside, it was like, like music's playing. People, like, literally, the city ran outside to be like, the Heatles. And like,
I had all the shirts.
Yeah.
I had all the Heatle shirts.
Yeah, man.
I was tapped up.
But it wasn't who you think was like American basketball fans. It was like the soccer community was the ones that we were over in Coconut Grove. Like,
facts.
Anyone that was serious about NBA or wanted to see them was down near the water, near where they play.
I mean, the arena's right there.
Right. And not over. People. It was a big open ass mall, but it was, you know, it's 11 o'clock, whatever time at night. And so everything is closed. So everyone's just running down. And I remember it being people jumping in puddles and just screaming, like with open toe sandals, like Korean, like
the ocean's right there.
Cuban grandparents. Oh, look at LeBron has done it for us. Like, I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah.
That's club. Great. You guys had a crowd. I think the only city I've heard, like, you can't compete as Pittsburgh if the Steelers have a night game.
You might as well not do nothing.
What I know, the manager told me, Kathleen Madigan was there, and the Steelers made the playoffs. And this is probably like 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when they came out, they had a home night game, like Saturday night. Mm-hmm. They said she had 2 shows. They said they canceled one, and the other one had like 30 people there, even though there was tickets sold.
Oh, people!
Because they don't announce it until the week before. There were tickets sold.
So people bought tickets.
They were like, "We're not going. We're watching this." They said Kathleen went up, and they said after that first set, the game was like in the second quarter. They just lowered the screen, and everybody stayed and watched the game. They go, "We're not doing this."
That's what I would have done. Seahawks night playoff game. We got a show. I know the energy. Like, you can't have a show in the same building because everyone's like, Seahawks. Like, you can hear. I don't give a fuck how many doors you got in between that shit. So, yeah, I'd rather. You guys couldn't do that in Seattle? The way that we are here with our Seahawks?
Yeah, no.
Absolutely. We literally caused an earthquake. Just yelling for Marshawn running the ball.
No. I'm talking about a comedy show.
What about it?
Would people come out on like a Saturday night in the Seahawks playing in the playoffs?
Sure.
Okay.
Would it be better to just turn on the LED wall and watch the game and have my servers wear jerseys and pass out Skittles every time a score happens?
Well, you know what I did a couple years ago when the Bengals played? For some reason, they're always giving the Bengals night games on Saturday. It's killing me. So I was in Dayton, which is only 45 minutes from Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. So I said, I don't want to perform tonight. So what we did,
let's watch the game together.
That's exactly what we did. The game was at 4:30.
I'll commentate.
So my first show Saturday was 7. Mm-hmm. I said, we're pushing everything back. And this is like on a couple days' notice. I said, what we're going to do is we're going to say, come watch the game with Gary.
Yeah.
So if you got tickets at 7 o'clock, get there early. We're opening the doors at 4:30. I could only sit out there for I sat out there for like the first quarter. Mm-hmm. Then I had to duck to the green room. Yeah. Because I really want to watch the game.
You want to be on the right side of the couch.
And I didn't want. It was too much people going like this. Hey man, my cousin's sister, her boyfriend, he cuts the guard's hair, like that type of shit was going on. Right. You know what I mean?
It's 3rd and 3, and you guys are in a run formation. Like, if you just give me a second,
I gotta be looking at him like this, or they'll come up and hit my right shoulder, be like this, bro. If they get a sack right now, I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you. Because we were playing good, but nobody touched me.
Right. As soon as hit the left. If you change how this game is going,
hit the left, bro.
That's hilarious.
Hit the left. That was funny because you were in Raleigh last week, right? This past weekend.
So it's been a lot. It was Miami and then straight from Miami to Raleigh.
Yeah.
And then Raleigh for 6 shows starting on the Thursday, and Miami because it was Memorial Day weekend. We went all the way through, like, Monday, or we didn't leave till Monday. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so then go up to Raleigh, do 6 shows there, and then last night was Charlotte.
You did a theater in Charlotte?
Yeah, at the Ovens Auditorium.
Oh, I love Ovens.
And then got out of there. We went to the Midnight Diner after the show, and then literally went back and I didn't have any, like, if I would have went to sleep, it's a wrap. I'm gonna get up at 4 to catch that flight.
Yeah.
So, we left at 4, so I got up I didn't go to bed. So I bought this
for 2 weeks. You haven't gone to bed. Sounds like
no.
It's like this, Gary. I haven't been asleep since May 18th.
Listen, I'm it's bad when you're like you circle the day you're gonna be able to really sleep in.
Yeah, which is tomorrow.
That's tonight.
It's tonight.
After this show, I get to just.
You're gonna die.
No, whoa. Knock it on wood. Knock on wood.
Hi, this is the Gary. This is our last episode. This is a tribute. It's been a long day to see you again.
It's me and Young Dolph, and
it's like Nate Jackson's Netflix special.
Amazing postmortem. Up there with the greatest dead comic specials. Shout out Patrice.
We're gonna push it to Halloween.
All right.
But Raleigh, that club, when the Bengals played the Ravens a couple years ago in the playoffs, again, Saturday night, I'm like, you got to be shitting me. I told my opener, I said, you've always want to do 45.
Stretch it out.
Nice night, baby. I said, go as long as you want, because they're getting 60 on the nose.
Yeah.
I took my phone on the stage, and I
The
had it
game
on the
set up on the
stool
stage.
like this, and I'm literally going, have you seen The Best of Times with Robin Williams and Kurt Russell?
No.
Holy.
Great movie? Where can I, The Best of Times with Robin Williams?
Robin Williams and Kurt Russell.
No.
So the movie is about this high school, and Kurt Russell was a star quarterback, but he had bad knees. And Robin Williams was a terrible wide receiver.
With good knees.
With good knees.
Okay.
And they played like they go to a shitty high school, bad facilities, everything in the 70s, obviously. This movie came out in like 89 or something like that.
Robin Williams was a football player?
Yeah, that's a minor part of the story.
Okay.
They go, they finally had the quarterback, right? And they go, we had the team, and there was another team across town that was had all the great facilities, great players and shit. He goes, we finally had the team that would beat them. They go, it comes down. We're down by like 2 points. And Kurt Russell drops back and throws this bomb. And you see this ball floating there. This is the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Right.
He goes, and he's right there. You know, as Robin Williams is narrating, he goes, and that son of a bitch dropped it. And it's this guy just dropping the ball and going down. So anyways, what happens is 20 years later, they're going to replay the game.
Okay.
They're going to get the guys back together and replay it. But there's a scene in the movie where...
What was it called?
The Best of Times.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay. I'll check it out.
There's a scene in the movie where Kurt Russell and Robin Williams, they're kind of friends, but they're friends through tragedy because he dropped the ball.
Right.
And Kurt Russell's now like a mechanic.
Right.
Never panned out. And
I feel like I have seen this.
It was so good. But he's watching, their girlfriends are getting pissed because they're so consumed with football because it's football season and they're getting ready for the game.
Right.
They're like, dude, we need one night with no football.
Right.
We're going to double date one night. And they're like, all right. So they're all four eating dinner in the living room, and Robin's actually in the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom and he scoots the TV
into the bathroom.
No, it's by like where the dining rooms. He scoots it so like he can see it.
Right.
Kurt Russell's going, don't do that. Don't do that. He goes, no, we're good. And then they're talking, and Robin goes, oh! And the girl goes,
I have
goes,
seen
what? He goes, oh, no, your hands.
Right,
Your
right.
hands.
Because the game is playing and they don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, they don't know. And then Robin goes, are you fucking shit, man? And the girls go, no way. That's happened in Raleigh.
Yes.
I'm literally going like this. I'm telling my jokes. I'm going, yeah, so I look down, and I see the Ravens driving.
Right.
And then that's where Sam Hubbard got that fumble and ran it 99 yards the other way.
Right.
So I literally lost track of my joke.
Right.
I'm like this. Yes, and then I told this shit. I thought it was a highlight. Because like, there's no way I just saw that live on my phone.
Right.
And it's one of the few times I went blank for a couple minutes and I told the audience, I'm sorry. I'm watching the game. I think we just scored.
You just told them?
Yeah. They
Hilarious.
started dying. I said, all right, I'm going to put my phone down now. So I had to put it down. And I just got off. I was like, oh, there's no way I just saw that.
That's funny.
So, anyways, this is a great tragic episode.
One time I was having sex, and what's the show where it'd be like, bloom, bloom, these are the series of crimes. What's that one? Dick Wolf
Law and
produces
Order?
it. Law and Order, but there's new ones now.
There's so many.
But I'm saying, like, the intro still looks old as fuck.
Yeah.
But there's new actors. Like, Ice-T's still the only, like, I just feel like maybe something happened to him.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so this is on. The situation starts escalating. We don't turn the TV off. The episode ends. You know how it starts off with the crime and then they start trying to solve it or whatever? It's a sex crime. So we're having sex and then the TV, and Ice-T's like, wow, it looks like the perpetrator just really was aggressive with the vagina and like or whatever. And they're like, well, let's take a look at the vagina. And somebody walked up, it's tattered. I was like, can I ask you something? What? Would you be okay if I turn this fucking TV off? It's about sex crimes.
Like this is a tattered pussy episode. The tatter's back. No, that's when there's always that guy in the office. Was the pussy tattered? Yeah. Hold on. Checks the files. Look here, 89. Tattered
pussy tatterer.
All over the Bronx.
Yeah.
There's tattered pussies all over the Bronx.
6 of them back to back. Ran into a nunnery. Tattered the whole nuns. All the nuns got tattered.
Tat, 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 tat.
Right. We call him Tatatouille.
Yeah. Well, Nate needs a nap. So we're going to wrap this episode up.
Because I need a nap?
Yeah. Where are you at this weekend?
This weekend actually is a big deal. So Thursday night is 2 shows at the Wilbur in Boston.
Oh, you've been waiting on that.
Yeah.
Have that second one sold out yet?
I don't even know because it's not like I can't. Bill Blumenreich has a different ticket system where I cannot tell. But anyway, then the next day is this in Medford, Massachusetts at the Chevalier, and then Saturday is Baltimore. And so then I'll be back Sunday, and then I'm back to like a week that feels like a normal week, which is still 5 days in to go. You know what I mean? But that'd be a lot better than what was just 12. And when I tell you this right now was a whole thing, because I had said yes individually to staying. Like they're like, hey, Raleigh and Miami and Raleigh are so close together. Do you want to just stay East Coast? And I'm like, yeah, cool. All right. Mm-hmm. I didn't look at the full calendar to see how it all wrapped together. I'm like, all right, bet, yeah, that sounds fine. Then like a week of just all kind of different whatever decisions that happen. And then they're like, hey, Boston and Raleigh are kind of close together. Do you want to just stay East Coast? Then I'm like, yeah, but I think I already answered that question. Y'all asked me if I wanted to stay East Coast for one, and then another like, oh, yeah, it's a different one. I was like, okay. I'm like, give me the run sheet for Miami. It's like, bruh, it's like Miami on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, you go to Raleigh. Tuesday, you have press all day. Wednesday, you have press. Thursday is 1 show, 2, then 3 shows on Saturday, literally a 2:30 show in the afternoon. Then drive 2.5 hours up to Charlotte and then do the Charlotte show. Leave Charlotte, go back to Raleigh because my sister's there and like that's where you'll fly in and out of. And then you're going to fly from there up to Boston, and they want you to work with some content creators in the Boston area to get the last few tickets off of your added second show. And then we're going to give you radio press, TV press. So that'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the 2 shows. Then Friday, then Saturday in Baltimore, then come back. That would have been 24 days. Yeah. That's longer than we did in Europe. Yeah, I lost my fucking mind. It ain't about the nap because I slept on the plane. And I also try not to complain about things I prayed for, but I had to break this trip up. Like, I need to go home.
Yeah, facts. Like, I don't like being gone more than 2 weeks. That's too long.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I literally was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm shopping just to keep my clothes going. Yeah. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. So, I think it's a lesson, or, if the silver lining is to it, is like, all right, well, we won't be doing that domestically anymore. Like, I was able to mentally, that was the thing. Going for that long in Europe was like, bet. For months before that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to be gone for 20-some days.
He was ready mentally.
This fucking thing snuck up on me. Like, I was like, all I need is a backpack. I'm just going to go, you know what I mean? I need a duffel and a backpack. They're like, you're gone for 27 days. Or whatever the fuck. I was like, what? Yeah. What do you mean I'm gone for 20 days? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, we broke it up. Trent's daughter's doing her graduation stuff, so we'll support that. And
yeah, so when I got here today, Trent let me in the building.
Yeah.
And, you do the whole, how's it going? He goes, man, just got back. Daughter's got graduation. I said, yeah, my great-grandma's dead. We all going through shit.
Jesus Christ.
I said, you worried about somebody that's alive? She's been dead for 25 years, man. There's worms in her eye sockets.
That is terrible. I was like,
He just started dying. I go, yeah, we all going through shit. It was about to be a run. I could take it. Because, usually like this, if you see somebody like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, we're ready to film. Da-da-da. Trent was like, yeah, man. Yeah. We just got back and daughter's got graduation.
Yeah, I try not to string too much together. It's a lot on
great-grandma died.
It's a lot on everybody to string that much shit together.
Like,
yeah, I get it. Keela was in a car in a video, and it said on the screen in white letter. It was dark. It said, I'm motherfucking tired, I'm motherfucking tired, I'm motherfucking tired, I'm motherfucking tired. And she's going, I'm motherfucking tired.
Yeah, but isn't that better than not working?
Shit.
That part.
And I take care of my people. So, but then the part that's the trip is Keela does some of the social media stuff. So I get on TikTok, and she reposted the video of her talking about she motherfucking tired. It's on my profile. People are like, who the fuck is this that's tired? Like, the people that don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, unrepost. Like, well, Keela, I get it. You're tired, and you want the world to know. But you don't go to 4.4 million people dancing in the dark. Like,
right.
On my page. Anyway, so
well, let me say where I'm at.
Yeah, where are you gonna be?
I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, for the first time for the public on Thursday.
Oh, so you're not performing
4th.
for Roll Tide?
That's the only time I've been there before. That was for the Alabama's homecoming. That was like 2000.
What's
where I
this
met
one?
Joe Coy, actually.
Nice. And what is this one?
This is just the Bama Theater, Tuscaloosa.
Nice.
Not just the Bama Theater, a theater in Tuscaloosa. And then this weekend I'm in Dania Beach. I guess it'd be the 5th, 6th, and 7th in Dania Beach and Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. So, all right, man. Well, we will see you guys next week. This is Gary.
And this is Nate.
And this is the Gary
and Nate
podcast.